Righty-roo. Here we go. Here we go. Let me refresh this chart. I think I drew a couple of other reference points on here today, some of which we'll use, some of which we'll not, some of which we'll delete. And I'll show you because it might convolute the price action at the beginning. Just to start out, today kind of came across fairly bullish. I'm going to be honest with you. And it had a lot to do. Let's get this opened up. Flash sale, 80% off. Shoot, sounds great, but gotta make some money out these prop firms real quick. Shoot. All right, did some good trades today. I'm really, really happy with the way I performed today. I don't want to do that. Okay, so a level I've been referencing a lot that I haven't really shown recently is this 4-hour SIBI. So let's first go out to the day chart. I want to I like to try to break it down like that. So, man, is there a way you can like double click this? Oh no, that's not what I want. Shoot, I just did exact Command Z. There we go. All right, let's drag this over. All right. So on the daily chart, there's no way it opened up that low, bro. Something's off. Oh yeah, okay, we'll see what it is on the hourly. But sheesh, man, that kind of, all right, but maybe we'll see what happens, man. So on the daily chart, we got some pretty jagged price up top. Some pretty doggone jagged price. And what do we just do here at this order block? We bounced off of it. Also, on this daily SIBI, we failed to get to the top of it. We did meet 75%. Yeah, so this one was kind of like a nice little trader route, or this guy right here. Wait up, what oh yeah, because this was a back and forth damn day, man. Tell you what. Very cool to be a part of though. Just learning from my lessons, or something I'd like to, maybe just repeat for myself is that, you get married to a trade and sometimes you don't get in the best moves. So if you don't got a good position, get out of that damn position whenever you get the chance, you know what I mean? And hopefully you could be keen enough, and you can't get lazy in your price analysis at the beginning of the day. You got to look for all these things. Like I missed an hourly breaker that formed whenever I thought it was just feeding a fair value gap, but in fact it was an hourly breaker, which screwed me on my entry. So anyways, I digress. That's something I'm going to be watching out for, always getting better. And I think that's the thought that's kind of helping me improve some, is or to rest my mind, especially whenever I do something that's lackluster, is saying, you know what, I'm doing everything I can right now to get better. So that's something that's good. Wow, this is like a propulsion block right here potentially. Holy God. Oh no. We're looking at green closed candles. So we don't exactly have a nearsighted order block. It did bump into this order block right here. Green closed, up closed, order block. That's an order block. Green closed candles next to a down leg. That's an order block. Cool. We got that down. Imbalance right here. Failed to get to the top. Is this a sign that we may reach to the top? Potentially. Because actually, you know what? I was thinking like, dang, this is looking like it might break down, but now we got this little area of thin price to deal with here. Okay. Could want to close it on the daily. Maybe reach the top. Maybe, yeah. So this is kind of like an order block for that guy. Let's just check 50% on this. I'm just curious. Failed to get to 50% of that guy. this would be an inverse order block if it were using it for downward movement. But either way, we just have to kind of see what it shows us. It's kind of in between levels right now. It might just put another wick up into here. It might overtake. But let's break down to let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Let's keep going. I just want to really go over this price action because there were some really cool moves that kind of fit the mold today. Of like what ICT's been teaching. I was able to utilize it and in a great fashion today, and I'm really excited about that. Whenever you lose trades, you know, and even on a losing streak, I went through a big losing streak after I had gotten some stellar success at the beginning, and yeah, that was hard, you know, to deal with. And you just got to just keep doing everything you think you need to do to get better. You know, this looks like a solid sweep right there, though. I don't know, man. Now we're in the 4-hour chart. Was there, let me see here. This is just, it might be just straight closing to opening. We'll see. We have to go to the hourly, actually. Cool. But this right here, these red lines, this whole leg of all this price right here is been reacting on the basis of this 4-hour SIBI. All right, and and I got the daily SIBI in there too, with the purple lines. Okay, that's 50% of that wick, which was kind of important actually. But this guy, I'll leave that one on there because I kind of feel my entry today. I kind of I think I caught an order block. It did violate the order block 50%, but it didn't take that. We'll get into that. But I just wanted to show you this 4-hour level that I'm going to be utilizing a lot in my explanation here today. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour. Okay. So this was an insane hour right here, man. But boom. What do we got to look at? Let's zoom out a little bit. What did it do here? And I'm going to delete that 15-minute breaker. I do just want to show one thing with it once we get down to the minute. What do we see here, guys? It's a breaker. Okay. This is the leg of that breaker. Did it already break the breaker? Let's see. Let's go here. Body. Oh God. No vertical lines. No vertical, or no horizontal, no angled lines. There you go. It broke the breaker. Shiitake mushroom. So that's actually a good sign. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit of, you know, premise on what could happen. This breaker is no longer valid. We do have this breaker. So this is an area right here. Okay, it's also inside the new week opening gap. Do we have any? We have this breaker. So there's a lot of downside breaker action that this sucker has to move through. And what's a breaker? High, low, higher, high. This is a breaker right here. So it could come all the way up into this zone right here and reject. Could. It's already made its way through this wick pretty good, but the body would be what we're looking at, in my opinion. On the hourly. Okay. What else do we got to glean from the hourly? Kind of made it. See right here. Kind of made this guy right here a breaker, but of course it already blew by it. So now this is like the last non-PDRA that may stop it. Let me see. This one or this one. One of these two. It's either close to the bottom of the new week opening gap or close to the high of the new week opening gap. All right, so those are some potential rejection zones. We also have this order block. So we got a breaker with an order block formation. And then high of the new week opening gap. What is that level on the? That is 50% of the daily BISI too, or SIBI. And that is 75% up that 4-hour SIBI. Cool. I think we've gleaned everything we can from that. We saw everything we need to see. Let's go to the 15 minutes. There's one move I want to explain on the 15-minute chart. And that's about it. This isn't this wild. Asia opens and clears the fucking board. Excuse my language. Sheesh. You think you're playing chess until your mom comes in and freaking tosses the board over. My mom would never do that. She never has done that. But you get the illustration. Mom's an angel. All right. Okay. So here we go. The only move I wanted to explain is we got this 15-hour breaker or 15-minute breaker. We got a low, a high, a lower low, 15-minute breaker. And this happened like middle of the day, and you could have had the premise of it, taking this guy, and you could have gotten right here with the faith that this breaker, which is the last up close candle, in the formation, 50% of that bad boy. All right. And if you did do this one, which would be inaccurate, but even if you could have, let's say let's just include that body, it only takes it closer to that. Okay. But anyways, Command Z that, we'll keep it proper. And then, but what do we got here? 50% of the daily SIBI, and it's confidently over it, right? So we could maybe lean to that for some support. And it did support it. Okay, what time was that? 11:30. Maybe not the best time to get into a trade. So maybe we let that one go. Okay. So that's the only thing that I wanted to show with this guy right here. Just to kind of show you, like, hey, you could have pulled this to the tip, to the tick. Right here, 50% of the daily SIBI. You could have got that, got up to these highs. But that's still, let's just say, like, hypothetically, let's frame that trade. 620, only down to, that's 50 handles. That's a lot of handles for some people, you know what I mean? So that could be plenty. On the 15-minute chart, what did it do? Came down. Looks like it just came down and touched this bad boy or close to it. Not quite. A couple ticks away. Okay. And then it took off upward, and it took some stops. It's important that we see these stops maybe right now, because I'm not going to be able to scroll back for these in a lower time frame. It's going to be too difficult. Right there, it got those stops. And this guy right up in this schmizzle, that was inside today's trading. That's insane. That's before Asia. Man, if you were in late, man, if you had a position on, sheesh, you got taken advantage of. Right there. That's insane. I don't know if you're able to, maybe after it respects, this, or you know what I mean? Maybe after it respects this inverse fair value you could get in. That's insane, though. I don't know. I didn't even look at that in the lower time frames. That's a move that's probably a little too late to be participating in, to be honest. Okay. But you could have potentially another liquidity sweep down. I didn't even look at that. My charts were off. I had 2 really good trades today, and that's plenty for me. Let's go down to the 5-minute. Let's go down to the 1-minute, man. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Tired of wasting time. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you today And this is the first presented fair value gap of the day. Okay? That's it right there. Okay? But let's look at this. Regular trading hours. Okay? Do you see this bad boy right here? That's a regular or opening range gap. That's closing price in regular trading hours. Takes off the last hour of electronic trading hours. Okay? Got me? Tracking? Following? Okay? And now this is the opening price of this morning. So we have a large opening range gap. Okay? We have, it came down and it touched yesterday's first presented fair value gap. I believe that's that one. And this looks, you know what I mean? It doesn't need to take this one. This already, if you look to the left, ran stops. Ran stops. Ran all these stops, right? So why would it need to go below this one? If this one did all the work that needed to be done, then why would you go below that? Why would it need to, for one? Like, and then the next stop is way down here. That's looking jagged. That's called jagged edges. It doesn't need to be, you know, this relatively equal low, relative equal lows right here, several of them. So you got lots of candy right here, lots of prizes to be won. Boom. So so this already took that. So it doesn't need to go back down lower than that. But what did it do? It kind of knocked out all these guys, and it gave a discount. Of course, it gave a discount. And you know what? I'm going to take off that 1 hour bearish fair value gap because it's kind of more reacting off of that. Do I need this? Am I even utilizing it? No, I'm not. Okay. I have to see where this 50% comes from. I'm sure it's from the hourly chart. So we got the new day opening gap down there. Okay. I'm entertaining a bullish idea because the real time trading hours gap, let's get back to electronic. That's the stop that it ran. That was yesterday's. And this is today's action. So let's spread this out. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, so this is today's action. I'm entertaining a bullish idea because A, for one, walk with me, there's a real-time trading hours gap or opening range gap, however you want to refer to it. I'm pretty sure ICD calls it the opening range gap. So we get rejection off of this again, okay? Now we're in the new day opening gap of 825. Appears to be closing over the top of that and rejecting. But what do I see here? A little algo signature off of the bottom of the 4-hour SIBI, okay? This right here, after it touched that, okay, so it closed over it here, yes. It closed over it here, yes. It came down, respected even the new day opening gap of 825 and 728. Damn, I have a 728 new day opening gap on here. Shiitake, dude. And Evan. Okay, so, and what's this big one right here? There's a new week opening gap. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff in here. I know. And this is an old one too. So, you know, I may not need all these, but whatever. I'll start to delete them as I get more comfortable, you know, not needing so much, you know. So, but I'm working on that. That's one of my goals. Simplify things a little bit more for myself, get some more levels that are more relevant. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work in maybe more 4-hour, 1 hour levels, and then rely on the new day opening gap and the real-time trading hours. We already just illustrated where those real-time trading hours gaps was. If you didn't see, it closed the real-time trading hours gap right up in here. Okay? Something to think about. And then it stalls. Wow. After it completes the mission. I mean, if you get on this morning trade, this is beautiful. But it ticks this 0 off the bottom of the 4-hour SIBI, massive volatility. Gets all the way back up to the first presented fair value gap, leaves this fair value gap, fails to get to I was eyeing this entry. Okay. I didn't get in right here, but I was eyeing it. I was so close to pulling the trigger right here. But I didn't. That's totally fine. Because then what would that would have been an extra, because I got in on this wick right here, top back into the fair value gap, 539.75. I actually got in like right here. I got some slippage on my, because I was touching whenever I pressed it, but you know how that works. It got in right here actually because it wicked up pretty quick. But it's okay. Should I add a limit order in? So that would have been still like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 minutes. That'd have been 10 minutes of stress, I guess you could say. Or, you know, I'm able to handle myself a lot better than what I was before at the beginning. But, you know, this one on this entry, it takes off, and then it does this movement. And as soon as it got up here, I was like, you know what? It could retrace down lower than my entry. So if it does, I'm going to move to break even. If it does, I'll mark it in again right here. Okay? I'll do that, you know. And there's a chance it could have came all the way down here again. So I was like, I'm moved to break even right here pretty quickly. But I was like, I don't think it's, you know what I mean? Sometimes, whenever it's going to go somewhere, sometimes it doesn't redeliver entries. Sometimes it does. But if it was going to be like that and it was going to come and hang around in here, then I would like to have the opportunity to re-enter, and that's something I think I'm gonna get better on. Some things you gotta hold, but in this one, it could have done anything right here, kind of. But with the real-time trading hours gap, I was pretty confident, and if it would have came lower, I would have re-entered long, whenever the time called for it. But it could have just dived down, you know what I mean? And then, maybe I should have just kept it right here and grew some balls. You know, but I didn't. I moved to a break even right here, so, and you could see I almost got taken out. I'd have been totally okay with that, but if I got taken out there, likely I would have got another entry. Okay, it's a good thing this didn't take me out though, because that wick and then it didn't go lower. That would have been, so I probably was moving my stop up a little too much. I probably could have kept it right here. I mean, it was a small stop for 3 lots anyways, from like, what was it, 42 to, let's say, right here would be 28. So, I don't know. That's not big to me. Okay, whatever. I'm not good at, I don't even know how much money that is or whatever, but that's where you got to put your stop. Yeah, so this fair value gap and okay, so this is another thing that builds the story though for this entry, is that respected this fair value gap. We got the rejection, we got a clean rejection off of the bottom of the 4-hour city, and failure reached top of the new week opening gap of 727. It's almost 4 weeks ago, and then it respects this bullish PD array. In the process, disrespecting this one, yeah. Change of state in delivery, took out even this high. Okay, respected the fair value gap. So now we're looking for this first presented fair value gap to get inversed and work through the real-time trading hours gap. Okay. There was where it went in the end of the day was like, you know, the ultimate goal. That's very logical for it to go up there because that was the last stops. Seemed pretty jagged down here, which I already explained. Entry right here. In my mind, I said, okay, so because we got a breaker structure right here. If I should have waited to move my stop up until this breaker formed. Okay, so at this minute, that's whenever you can move your stop up. And after that happened, I was totally comfortable. Once it went there, I was like, yep, it's going. And man, it did it. Boy, did it deliver fast. I only needed to right here to get my with 3 lots from here to here. That was 3,000. That's as much as I can make on my little prop firm right now. Okay, no more than that. I didn't need any more than that. So, but you could see I could have held this position all the way to those last highs, you know, if I wanted to. Well, could I have? Yeah, I could have. It would have been a freaking wild ass ride, though. God help me. Yeah. Okay, so that it reached the goal right there. I could have at least got to the, you know, end dog, 811. That's an old end dog. Why did it move there? What did it do here? Did it take stops? Yes, it did. Okay, with this retracement, I mean, if this would have been the high to aim for, right? And since I have this on here, old new day opening gaps get referred to. So I don't like to take them off. Maybe I'll just keep leaving them on. But if you just went to this high, what is that? That's 620. Like that I could have left it there because it's a high directly above close of real-time trading hours gap. Very logical for it to do that. I would have had to sit through hell for an hour, but it would have happened. 11:30 runs this last stop. I mean, where's it going to go to? Boom. But anybody that held after this high got smoked, unless you had to stop in the right spot. But you know, I've held on to trades that long, but that's crazy, bro. That this is a high you should aim for. Like if you get this, you should be happy from here down to here, 620 to 540. Well, that's like 80 handles. Is it? What is it? Barely 80 handles. 540, 640. Yeah, it's 80 handles, man. But that's plenty. You can make so much money. Just like half that. It's just what I did. Anyways, 3/4 of it, or you know, whatever it was. I don't even remember. Okay, it was from here to here. 90 to 42. It's 50 handles. That's all you need, really. Put the right lot size. You get out early before you, because like you know that's the whole. That's why I was saying earlier. You want to put that lot size on there so you could get out. So you could get out of that trade. You know what I mean? Get your goal and get out. You know, and then especially whenever you're gaming these prop firms. 11:30, like after real time trading hours gap, it stalled. Took. Like, you know, showed some bearish structure. But this isn't a time to be entering, like, right now. You don't want to be entering, like, this is your best one right here. Like I already explained on the 15-minute where it hit that breaker. That was a very logical spot for it to retrace to and then get that high. You would have had to sit through a lot of stuff, right? And if it gets to, like, I mean, you could even have put your... You know, right there, into this little order block, propulsion block, whatever it was, yeah. You could have put your stop right there. It doesn't need to take that high. Still freaking bank it. Sometimes those highs could get tricky. But anyways, it enters lunch. Okay, and it takes that high, it enters lunch. What does lunch do? It takes stops. What stop did it take? It took the last available stop. And I'm seeing right now, and this, especially this week, it is running deep for stops. It's taken the last biscuit on the table. Like it's sometimes this is the only stop you get, and then it will meander and then continue to go up. But no, this is yo-yoing for all the stops. Okay? And then, so for me, I'm like, this would have been a good entry cut whenever it came back up over the new week opening gap, or it closed over it 50%. That's logical. You could have got in right here. This would have been an even better one, right? 50% trades over it. Boom. With the idea, it's still going to go higher because it's so jagged down low. And they're in those. Now we got this stop. That's there, and we got two relatively equal highs up in this zone right here. Okay, I was kind of like, oh man, it'd have been cool to get this, but it was right at 10:30. Like I'm not trading before 1:30 again in the afternoon. I'm not gonna do that. There's several instances where I did and I got smoked, and then at 10:30 or 1:30, the move develops, and I'm over there. I already lost money. Can't go. Have to go in limping on a position because I already screwed myself because I tried to get in during lunch, which was a chaotic mess today. So if you just have that rule, 11, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get in from 11:30 to 1:30 because that's not the optimal time to trade. Then you would have saved yourself this headache. Yeah, you might have missed a move. right? You could have got in on that lunch. I mean, you can trade on lunch, all right? If you see this, it ran the stops. I mean, let's do a little order block study there because it's interesting. And you could say, oh, it's going to go at least take that stop. That's the last one left, and we're in lunch. What does lunch do? Lunch run stops, okay? So once you've seen this right here, you get this up close candle. You get an order block formation, boom. You see how it's respecting with the bodies. Then you're golden. Then you could even get in right here touching this guy, right? What did it also do? Fed this fair value gap and then fed it one more time and then rejected. What does it also do? Respecting this order block. What do we got here? Inversion, breaker. This is actually a beautiful entry down to that one. But I was at work, I traded at work to be honest, so off my phone. So didn't see that one. I was busy. Okay, I didn't get in on this. I was like, it's a little close to 130, and I want to see what it does. So I waited, and I was like, it took those stops. It took those stops up there that were like sitting right up here. How far does it want to go? And then so there's not really any real efficiency up in this zone. It's just now we're into that daily SIBI, and I seen it seemed to run out of steam reaching up into it. And then there's so many times where it doesn't get all the way to it, right? So I'm like, this is a great spot for it to turn around at, okay? And this right here, guys, was a dead giveaway something like this was going to happen, right? Whenever it leaves shit like this, it's going to come back for it. That session or later, But I got in on the basis of this being an order block. This candle confirmed the order block. And then you see you got 1, 2. I got in just below 50%. That's where I put my entry. And I got on this candle right here. And then this one respects it. So now I'm feeling really comfortable. Boom. And then this happened. Now I'm feeling nervous. But I put my stop right up here. And it was 4 lots for it was 4 lots, dude. That's it, bro. 4 lots. And so this was a $400 stop on 4 lots. So I was like, if it grabs me, it grabs me. You know what I mean? And then I'll see what it does up here. Honestly, if it took that stop, we don't know how far it's going to go. But I was like, this is a spot for it to turn around at, right? In my mind. Because this daily SIBI is massive. This is 75%. You don't even see the 50%. And this is a pretty big range. It's like a massive daily SIBI. And then it comes and tags 75% and rejects. So I don't know what that tells you, but whatever. And then it makes this one. Yeah, so. Anyways, I got in right here. Boom. And then he makes this one. I was like, oh, crap. I almost got stopped, man. I didn't move my stop open, though. So I'm happy about that. I was really close to getting stopped. I was like right in there, bro. Had a little bit above that high. And I was like, okay, that's really good. Right? That's really good. I'm feeling really good now. And then it came and touched 50% of the order block again. So that made me feel comfortable again. It worked into this 1 hour bearish breaker. That's got me feeling good again. Okay, and it's again on the hourly chart. This is very balanced price up here. There's like 3 hourly candles stacked up side by side. Green, red, red, green, red, or something like that. And yeah, it's super balanced up there on the hourly. Anyways, this guy touched that, feeling really good. Soon as it touched this, as soon as it cleared this, now I'm feeling like this move is gonna go. Like it's confirmed. And then we're seeing this green candle respect that bottom. This green candle respect that bottom. If you wanted to get in any one of these wicks right here, you could have 50% of the breaker after it closes outside of it. That's a great, you know what I mean? And into this kind of close to this order block. So there's a lot of time on that one. And, it just rolls right on over. I get out. Where did I get out? I got out right here because that's $4,000 with 4 lots. What did it end up doing? It ended up crashing down a lot further than that. So again, I think I explained my logic on that trade pretty good. What did it reject off of? What does that say? 50% of the daily civi, comes back up, opens, clears all this out, dives back down. That's insane, brother. Freaking hopping a skip down too. Gee whiz. What does this low do? Takes this stop. Doesn't take that bad boy. Why would it need to take? This is a good indicator right here. This low is higher than this one. So, and this ran that other stop. So why does it need to grab that one right here? That's something you got to pay attention to. That's like a huge thing, especially in the opening. There'll be like highs and lows and stuff like that. But then you picking up on this little situation, I think I already explained it a couple times today, is key. You could see that this ran all the stops of the day, and this ran that stop. What more stops does this guy need to run? And this is just in this little micro situation. And it did end up blowing a lot further down. But in the open, stuff like this is key to be paying attention to. What did it do? Oh, it filled that fair value gap. Did it wick below this order block? Nope. Because we don't want it to wick below the order block. It could wick to the top of it. But we don't want the wick to go over the body on the order blocks. And we don't want, if there's a candle going in the opposing direction of the order block, we don't want that to close past mean threshold. And this is just madness. Freaking madness. All right, let's find that closing price. And then that's going to be it today. I think I cataloged enough price. That real-time trading hours, though, study, that was insanely cool. That happens more than you want to know. To not be trying on stuff like that is insane. And honestly, I got out early, but that's cool. I just got out at my take, like the price I needed to make the money at. But 50% of the time, it closes 50% of the opening green gap. Where is it? Way earlier. We're looking for right in this zone. 5. So let's get this. Let's get this front and center, please. Is this it? 459. 6. It's pretty much right there. I'll just do this. Oh, God, no. Now, what am I at? Oh, no, not a horizontal line. I want a horizontal ray. I'm putting it at the top of this candle. Let's go 2. Closing price. 827. Cool. Now we got that. All right, I'm feeling pretty solid. Let's go back out to the hourly. Like I said, it already broke the breaker. I already outlined those levels, like where could it go to and stuff like that. On the only attractive thing is on the far downside, but of course we are in a bullish market, so don't, you know what I mean? Don't think it's just gonna just go down because we're in a bullish market. Right now, could it turn down? I mean, this is pretty jagged price, guys. Up top. Is it, that maybe it might clear out all that. It might not. We don't really freaking know, right? Man, I remember trading that up there. Good stuff. Whew, yep. Cool. You see what I did there, guys? Look at all these lows. Might do it on Friday. Might not do it at all. Bam, bam. It just did that. But what level we're looking for? Kind of those. This is the kind of level right there. Top of the middle of the new week opening gap. Try to retracement. Maybe for a bearish leg down. Taking these guys. Where could it come back up at? You got those hourly breakers. This is a big breaker situation going down. We got one right here. We got one right here. There's several breakers. If it closes like, I don't know, because then we got this one to do with too. So we'll see what happens, man. Equal, you know what I mean? So we never want to predict a top. Let's go to the daily. Once we could say on the daily chart, when does it go bullish on the daily, bearish on the daily? Like, what would it have to do to look bearish on the daily chart? That's a good study. Way up in here. Let's stress this out. So has it broken market structure to the downside? See how all these are staggered so perfectly? There's not really a low. See, even this one, all these daily lows, there's not a low. Oh, this is the low. So break of market structure way down here, all the way to back up to where we are. This is the first break of market structure. This is the only swing low that was formed in this entire situation. That's insane, actually. And it got taken. So break a market structure. But then we got a swing high that was just taken. What would it have to do? Got thin price. To go bearish again? To make sure, like, we know for sure it's bearish? Continuing to respect this guy. I'll close over 50% of that would, give us the inclination that it's going to go up higher. What PRA needs to be violated? Even just, on the daily chart, even just to close, gosh, these are big candles. And then this candle's so huge. It's like, how are you going to tell? Like, if there was like a smaller daily order block or something that we could go off of, like if it violates an order block, then maybe. My brain's scrambled, bro. I can't tell you. It's gonna, like, this little high, sweep, and low. That's insane. It's hard to say where it's gonna go. That's all I got today, guys. Hasta la vista, baby.